Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We've got ourselves a new rules reference guide for Star Wars Legion. We're going to kind of go over this real quick, talk about some of the highlights. Also, a little bit of admin stuff. There is a sale going on right now in my t-shirt and mask and gator neck and merch store. So if you want to check the Teespring store down below, if you use code FLASH, you're going to save 10%. That is only valid until Sunday night at midnight. So it's just a weekend sale. And that's a Teespring actually is sponsoring that. So, thanks to them. I didn't, I had no control over that. They just kind of told me about it. So that is going on. And other than that, I think let's just go ahead and jump right into this rules reference guide update. Now, this is got a lot of new keywords that you're going to see on new things that are coming out very, very soon. You're going to see authoritative, like they're going to have everything highlighted in blue. This goes into effect the 23rd of August. So any tournaments that were going to happen before then, are going to have to be held into these rules, right? Or would be held into these rules if they take place after the 23rd. And this is going to be version 1.7 of the rules reference guide. So we're going to be covering authoritative, bane tokens, demoralize, divulge, duelist, equip, exemplar, immobilize, lethal, permanent, retinue, and anything else that happens to be in blue. So we're just going to kind of scroll down. I'm going to just kind of run through everything really quick in case you don't have time. I'll put a link to this in the description below as well. And here we go. I'm jumping through because there is a lot of times there's little things that just need minor clarification. I'm probably not going to talk about everything. Authoritative is showing up in here. This is I believe this is on Padme. If they'd be issued an order, they can issue an order to a friendly unit at range 1 to 2 instead, and it specifies that you treat the unit with authoritative as being the one assigning the order, so for purposes of command upgrades and if who gave the order to whom, etc. They do talk about bane tokens. This shouldn't be a whole lot. Now, it's not like there's a whole lot of changes to all of this stuff, but it's important that these appear in the RRG, so you're not stuck having to haul your Cad Bane rules insert around here. I think the only change or new piece is talking about Kablamo, that the token detonates and then the token is removed. I think there was some possible concern that maybe they could potentially go off twice or something like that, or not go off or something like that. Also, at the start of any round, starting with the blue player, a player may reveal a friendly "Here I am" and resolve it. So at the start of any round, players. So I think a cool thing about this is that it's starting with the blue player. So if there's any Bane versus Bane things, red player now gets to react to a revealed "Here I Am" card, or "Here I Am" token. If Cad Bane is not on the battlefield and is not defeated, "Here I Am" will be replaced by his miniature. Then he issues himself an order. So he has to be exactly where that is. Also, there's some talk about, there's something else in here about base contact we're going to talk about. Let's see, base contact is touching there. Beam X, there's some clarification on Beam. Beam X that you have to, that it's only, you're only using the beam word. You still have to be in line of sight of the attacking units. You can't beam around corners and that. This is all here in there. A little bit of clarification on the bomb carts. A bomb cart mini can move through a group of friendly and enemy minis engaged in a melee, but cannot displace them. And it can move through or over impassable terrain so long as its final placement is legal. It's treated as a unit when determining legal placement. Let's see. Let's keep going. Some of the more interesting stuff will be down here. There's not a whole lot of big stuff, but there's some clarifications here. Condition tokens cannot overlap objective tokens or bane tokens and vice versa. We've got coordinate. Now this one is an interesting one. This really applies to Gideon Hask if he goes on a shore trooper for the most part, but potential future things as well. If a unit has two different coordinate keywords gained through different sources, then they don't both stack. You can't use them both at the same time. And I think the only current example of this right now is if you put Gideon Hask in a shore trooper unit. first off, is it legal to put him in there? Yes, it is. And second thing is, will he, will you get to do both? And you pick one. They don't stack. They don't become coordinate 2 or anything like that. You just pick which one to go for. And that's kind of the theme of a lot of these things that some people might have thought stacked actually don't. They talk about Bacta. We'll talk about demoralize. A unit does perform its rally step even if it has no suppression tokens. That's just I think that was already known, but it's probably just it's just important to I guess let them know. Let's see, what are we talking about here? Is this deflect? Oh no, this is deploy. Units cannot be placed into or move into base contact with an enemy mini during setup. So this is it's unlikely that you'd really have the opportunities to do this, but I think since so many more people are seeing infiltrate now, if you had scout 1 or something like that. So let's say I was blue player, I deployed first, I dropped Jin Urso in your deployment zone, and let's say you wanted to just deploy somebody in base contact with her, you can't. Let's say you wanted to deploy them just outside of base contact with her and scout 1 into a melee. Can't do that either. So that's an interesting thing. I wonder why they decided to go with that. But I'm okay with it. That's fine. I think that's probably good future proofing, because there's probably something in the future that might have made that more difficult. They talk about divulge a little bit here, so since divulge is like one of those new keywords, it talks about when the divulge happens. If both players have command cards with the same divulge keyword timing, the blue player has the opportunity to reveal their command card first. If the opportunity is declined, then the card can no longer be divulged. So if you're a blue player, you can't be like, you first. You can't do that. And then they talk about that these cards have a horizontal line, a lot of that stuff. Okay. The duelist keyword is added here. I don't know if there's any new clarification for it. Let's see. We've got the equip unit. Now this one, there was some questions about. It was pretty much answered, by I think in one of the discords. But it's now official. The equip keyword means you must equip the upgrade cards listed after its equip. So all of the upgrade cards listed after equip, which means a lot of people were like, "Oh, does the Inferno Squad mini need Hask and Del Mico? Does it need both of them?" And yes, it does. You can't just opt to just put one of them in there. You have to put both. So when you see equip, anytime you ever see that, they must have everything. Same thing goes for Clan Ren. If you're using Clan Ren, you got to have both names in there. Exemplar tokens or exemplars in here, and it's just clarifying. It was funny because we were just talking about standby tokens. Oh, what if they're going to change the color? I don't think they're going to do that, since they just doubled down on the standby or green tokens here. Of course, we kind of knew that anyway. There is some clarification for entourage, and that it only ignoring the rank counts as far as list building, and that doesn't count against your maximum number in there. So we're gonna keep going here. Let's see what we got else that's in here. Hostage cards, immune to enemy effects. I think they just added this in here. I think it's already written on the card that you get, but yes. Immobilize X. This is, I don't know why. I don't know what the difference here is. Maybe it's just the changing of the writing or the forming of the words, because I think this is the same thing. I don't think there's anything new there. Let's keep going. We're on the J's lethal. And they're clarifying how lethal works, and also adding a lot of these alternate aim things. I think we saw the same thing with Marksman. When you spend that aim token to do the lethal X to gain Pierce 1, you don't also get rerolls. It was like a question I was asked, like, when you've got like the scopes, targeting scopes, when you spend an aim, you can reroll one additional die. I'm like, okay, so if I spend an aim for lethal X, can I also reroll a die? No. So spending an aim for lethal is a whole separate way to use aim. Doesn't count as spending an aim for other effects, and you don't get to reroll dice when you spend an aim for lethal X. Let's see, we've got transport. During setup, if a player has deployed a vehicle with light transport X keyword, they may choose as one of their alternating deployments to deploy an eligible unit such that is being transported by that vehicle, even if that vehicle is outside of their deployment zone. So this is kind of an interesting thing because there is the new deployment. I think it's called rollout. That your vehicles kind of get Scout 1, right? Like they can be outside of the deployment zone, kind of, and so that it's clarifying you can still put Luke Skywalker on board that that transport or something like that. You can still put people in a vehicle that is outside of that. So that's kind of cool. Of course, it only says light transport. What about our heavy transports? Where's our heavy transports? I mean, come on. The fact that they put light transport in there, right? I mean, not just now, but initially, they got to be an AT-AT in development, right? There's got to be a heavy transport AT-AT. Come on. All right. And here's a big one. Only one upgrade with the leader keyword can be equipped to each unit. And I think this is maybe one of the most important ones that I had because since we're getting new heavies coming out with the ARC Troopers, and we're also getting new heavies coming out with the Inferno Squad that have the leader keyword. And you might want to use your personnel, your personnel expansions leader, and like to increase courage up to 3 on a core unit or something like that. You can't do that, right? So you can only put one leader on each unit, and I think that's fair. I think that's the simplest way to do that. So I like that. Plus, you'd have people fighting for leadership. All right, keeping on going down. Nothing else in the blue so far. I think we're getting close. There's maybe a little bit more. Permanent. They talk about Anakin's command cards. They have the permanent effect. Unlike other command card abilities, these stay in play the whole time. There's very few other command card abilities that do have a permanent effect. Pre-measuring. You can now measure with the range ruler, movement tools, and silhouette template if playing with tournament rules at any time. Of course, most of the games we play tend to follow tournament rules, so that's why we tend to use the silhouette tournament on all of my battle reports, but not everybody has to use silhouettes. And here's an interesting one too. I think this is the last big one. Repair X. So your things. If you took an X, if you had two types of repair abilities, they're independent, they're not stacking. If they also talk about an example, if you had 2 Bactas or 2 Arc Welders, they're kind of the same thing. Or treat X capacity and repair X capacity, you're going to see the same rules for both of these. But if you have if you've got the healer droid, or if you've got your astromech that's repairing, and you also have a different repair, maybe you got Del Meeko. I think Del Meeko's the repairing one. Then they actually cite Del Meeko right here, and then an R4 astromech. You choose which one to use. So you're not going to just gain like repair 3. They don't stack. And that one is a really good rules reference because it's a number. Usually numerical abilities have always stacked in the past, and this one kind of is like, oh, you know what? Yeah, because the way this whole thing is designed, if we made them stack, then it'd be repair 3, capacity 3, and that would be like, it becomes multiplicative at that point. So it'd be like you'd almost have to use, so no. That's crazy. And so, and again, the capacity goes on the card that's you doing the repair, not the unit itself. It's not like a wound on the unit. So like, Del could only repair twice, and then the astromech could repair. Del could only repair once. The astromech could repair twice. You got to follow each one's. And the same thing. It goes with treat. You're gonna see the same thing with treat. They added retinue. I don't think there's anything new there. Let's keep going. And let's see, shield tokens. There's clarifying of the order of shield tokens. I don't think anything is changed here, but they're just laying it all out. With like the timing of everything. I'm not going to go over every single bit of it. If there's, I don't know if there's that much real disparity. I think the biggest takeaway here is the way Ion works. You can spend a dodge first to dodge the Ion if there's only one hit, and then you're not hit. But otherwise, I think then Ion kicks in. But all the timing is there, so you can reference that as you need to. Let's see. We're going to keep going. We've got treat. I got transfer, transferring tokens. Okay. We've got the treat stuff is the same as repair. Uncanny luck. There's some clarification on the timing of that, and I think that's it. I think that is it. Yeah. Is there any hard errata in here? I don't think so. Nope. Well, that'll all be in the later in the fall update. All right, guys, that is about it. Sorry for it being a little longer than I wanted it to be. It was, I tried to make it quick and kind of just skim through everything. Yeah, but that's about it. All right, big thanks to my patrons, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.